Alex Radical from Board Game Co. and today I'm going to be doing a playthrough and review of Ace of Spades from Devere Games. Is it Devere Games or just Devere? From Devere, let's go with Devere. Anyways, this is going to be a solo playthrough and review. The game is primarily a solo game. There is a two-player variant. I have not played that yet. I've played this a bunch solo. I have not won yet. That's neither here nor there. But I haven't done the cooperative version of it yet. If you are only interested in the review section of this, go ahead and skip to that timestamp down below because that's there. I'll go ahead and be able to give you my thoughts based on all the plays so far, as well as this play. I don't know if this play will change my thoughts in any way. It's possible it will, but from what I've seen of this so far, I'm kind of just playing this because I think it's fun to play it. Spoiler to my review, I guess. Partial spoiler. I at the very least enjoy it to some extent. But anyways, that's enough rambling. You can go ahead and jump to the review if you're just interested in that, or I can go ahead and teach you how to play, as well as actually play through it. And we'll get how far we get. If we lose right away, we lose right away. If we get all the way to the end, then we get all the way to the end. With that, what you're going to do is you're going to reveal the enemy you're fighting. We're fighting against a Scorpion. He has a health of 5. So we tuck him under here, technically. One of the things I will say, again, spoiler to the review, I don't love this board. The board functions, but I find myself fiddling with it, trying to keep things oriented. We have a 5 health enemy. Honestly, if you just don't cover the enemy, it's probably easier. Trying to constantly cover the enemy and have it there, it probably makes things a little harder than they need to be. No, are we not focusing? Focus, focus. There we go. We're focused again. Anyway, so that's kind of our enemy. We have a 5 health Scorpion. Now, we have 2 hands and 2 discards that we can do. It's a little more complicated than that, but for right now, 2 hands and 2 discards. This is over here because you look at the back of this card, this tells you how many hands and discards you have. You have a hand of 8 cards, and you're going to be playing a standard poker hand of 5 cards. You must play 5 cards. There is a variant, the easy mode. You can choose to play less than 5 cards. As many times you'll want to play less. I'm playing on normal. No things that make it harder, no things that make it easier, just standard normal mode. Now this guy has 5 health. Now if you look at my starting hand, you can see I already have 2 pairs. I have 8s and 2s. 2 pairs would be 2 damage, and I need to do 4 damage to him, 5 damage to him. So, doesn't seem like the best starting hand. We're going to use our first discard and draw to get rid of those. I am tempted to possibly get rid of the 2s as well, because the chances of getting, I don't know. What are my chances of getting a king, ace? A king wouldn't even be enough. A 2 kings, 2, that wouldn't be enough. We're going to get rid of the 2s. We're going to dump those 2s over here, which feels crazy, but we're going to go ahead and do so. So we're dumping those cards. Let's kind of make my discard and draw pile over here so we can have these accessible. Then we're going to draw 4 more cards, and we're going to rotate this dial down 1. We've used 1 of my discards. We're going to draw up to a hand of 4 more cards over there. I already got rid of a 5. That's unfortunate. We got double aces. That's not bad. Double aces is a solid way to guarantee the win right now. It does feel like overkill, but I think we're going to do it because why not? The other option is we play the 8-8-5-6 jack and hope for a king, because double aces for later could be good. So let's do that. Let's play the 8-8. We're going to play a hand of this hand, okay? Actually, do I have a flush? I do have a flush. Interesting. That might not be the worst. Then I save my ace. I save my jack. I save that. Okay, great. We're going to play this hand right now. So this hand is going to be a flush over here. So we're going to play a flush that's going to deal 5 damage on its own. That's so overkill. It's so overkill. What are we doing here? What am I thinking? I don't know. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it because I have 3 clubs. Great. We're going to do this hand. This hand is going to be 5 damage, +1 for a king, +3 for an ace. Jack, queens, and kings deal +1 damage. Aces deal +3 damage. So I'm doing a total of 9 damage to a 5 damage character, which is overkill. But you know what? That's it. We went ahead. We took our shot. We killed him. We didn't even need our second hand. The Scorpion is dead. We're going to hold on to this guy. In fact, I'll hold over to him over here, down here. We'll put our stuff. Let's move our stuff around a little bit. We're going to get this card. It has a one-time use ability. The one-time use ability is I can change the suit of any cards in the hand you play this turn that have a value of 7. So I can change my 7s to whatever suit I want. We are going to hold on to these 3 cards, and we're going to go ahead and reveal our next character, who's going to be Bandito. He's got a health of 7, so we're going to bump this up to 7, tuck him under the board, and we'll see what ability we get shortly. We're going to reset this to 2 and 2, primarily because, again, the back of this card shows 2 and 2, and we'll draw back up to a hand of 8 cards. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so I already have another 2 8s over there. Got rid of one of my 8s, so things are not looking great as far as that. I do have a flush. This might be a time to use the flush, honestly. I might go ahead and use the flush right now. So right away, offhand. Now the question is, do I want to try to cycle? I think I do. I think I want to cycle these cards because none of these cards are particularly good. This hand over here is going to be another flush for another, again, 4 damage over here from the flush, so 5 damage from the flush. 6, 7, 8, 9. He's only got a health of 7. We're getting rid of 2 of our aces early on, which I do not love. But the way we can do that, we're still fine. We're going to discard these cards and draw up 3 more cards to see what cards we can get. A king is great. A 4 diamonds is fine. And then a 3 of clubs is not bad. I think we're going to use our other discard to once again discard these 2 cards just to try to get better cards in my hand. Another king, amazing, and an ace, amazing. Okay, so in general, when you're playing this game, if you have extra discards, since they're going to reset each round, you do want to use them when possible to be able to get to better cards for the next hand. Then I'm going to play these 5 cards, which once again is a flush for 5 damage, 6 damage, 7, 8, 9 damage. That's going to deal 9 damage to somebody who only has 7. We're going to kill the Bandito, and now we have 2 tricks up our sleeve. We have the Scorpion and the Bandito. The diamonds in the hand you play this turn are considered to be part of the heart suit. That allows us to have an easier chance of getting a flush. So we're going to go ahead and stack this here. We have our 2 abilities we can use at any point. They are one-time use. Once we use them, they're gone. And we have a new enemy that we are facing off against. This is going to be a villain. We're going to be playing against a villain over here. That's going to be the end of the first act. It's Django. He's got a health of 10, so we're going to bump our health dials to 10 over here. And we have to try to do 10 damage to him. Once again, we have 2 hands to do so. Villains generally give you an ongoing permanent ability, powering up your tableau, but they end the act, which is going to make us better and worse. Harder enemies, but more standard hands. I believe we go to 3 hands and 2 discards still. We'll see soon enough. Anyways, I'm going to draw these 5 cards, and we have Jack, Queen, King. Well, no King. We have Jack, Queen, double Jacks, triple Jacks. I think we've used the Jack already. We have a 9, Queen, and 3 over here. So right now, if we're trying to deal 10 damage, so first of all, we could use our ability to get a flush offhand. So we could do a flush. This flush right here would be another flush, plus it would be 11 damage. So 11 damage on a flush is not terrible. The question is, do we want to use a discard and draw to hopefully draw to better cards? Let's go ahead and do that. We'll see what we do. We got 1 discard. Because I still want to hold on. In general, if I could hold on to good cards for another turn, that's even better. Although, no, we're playing the end of an arc right now. It makes a difference. I don't know why I'm overthinking this. We're playing the end of an arc. I forgot that. So basically, ignore our discard. We're not going to use that. Because what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and submit this as my hand. No, we don't want to use the ability. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm doing this. So I will use the discard. I will use the discard to go ahead and draw 2 more cards. Basically, at the end of an arc, we're going to fully shuffle and reset the deck anyway. So that part doesn't matter. What does matter is our ability to possibly go ahead and keep these. These guys can go round to round. So I think I will get rid, because right now double pair would only be, again, 2 pairs 2. I don't think I want to, so I'm going to cycle these 2 again. That's going to use up our second discard. We're going to draw 2 more cards. What do we get? A 4 of clubs and a 10 of spades. So in a weird way, we actually took away our ability to get a flush. Not in a weird way. We just straight up took away our ability. But we do have a 10, Jack, Queen, King, and Ace. And again, there's no reason to save it at this point because in between arcs, you're going to reset everything anyway. That's going to be a straight, not a flush. It's going to be a straight up straight. That's going to be 4 damage for the straight. Then 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, which is exactly how much damage we need to deal. So this is a 10 damage flush holding on to our abilities. Not flush, 10 damage straight holding on to our abilities. That's going to take them out. We have a full extra hand. Again, we've only been doing 1-hand shots over here. We're just like a quick draw. We're just like straight up shooting them. They don't deal damage back to us. Not that they deal damage, you just have a limited number of hands. And that defeats the villain. Django is dead. 10 damage to Django's head. And if you play... Oh, the villain is immune to hands with 2 pairs. I forgot to do this, by the way. Fortunately, we didn't actually do that. But basically, the villain is immune to a hand with 2 pairs. But if you play a 2 pair, it inflicts 4 damage instead of 2. So generally, the villains are going to be immune to a certain kind of hand, but they're going to be stronger with that hand when you get them. So now we have an ongoing ability. If we play 2 pairs, it inflicts 4 damage instead of 2 damage, and then we reset our deck before going into the next villain. Again, that represents the arc. I believe there's 4 arcs of the game. So far we're doing well, but then again, I haven't won this game yet, and so far I've done well in general. I find usually about halfway through is where things start to falter. How much further you get, that is game to game. But so far I have not won this, but I like the challenge. Anyways, and then the challenge can escalate because, again, you can go to level 3, 4. Right now I'm playing on normal. There's advanced and then nightmare. So we have our hand of cards. We're going to deal ourselves a new hand of 8 cards. Everything cycled back in. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not the best hand. We do have most of a flush, but not a strong flush. We're going to see the enemy facing off against. We have this guy over here is going to be 12 damage. 12 damage to take him out. No abilities because he's a general henchman, I think they're called. So 12 damage, he'll give us an ability, but we have 2 hands. No, we have 3 hands to take him out. So we're going to adjust this. We're going to adjust this. And then we're going to see what we can do. Now we do have a pair offhand. We also have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's do that. Let's do a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So a 4, 5, 6, 7, and an 8. That's going to be a straight. A straight is going to be 4 damage. No extra tricks or tips on my sleeve. That's a straight up 4 damage to the villain. So we're going to drop him down to 8. That's the good news. The bad news is we have 2 hands left to get this done. Let's go ahead and see what we can do. Okay. He's done. This goes in the discard. We draw back up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Wow, a bunch of weak cards over here. Weak cards. Now we do have a 2 pair. 2 pair could be another 4 damage, and it allows us to continue cycling mediocre cards out. We do have to play another card, so we'll play this 3. Why not? So we have 2 pairs for another 4 damage. That drops from down to 8 to 4, from 8 to 4. The only reason that did 4 damage is because we have that upgraded 2 pair down here. So we're going to again draw another 5 cards. We're doing great as far as getting rid of a bunch of mediocre cards from our deck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is what we have here. We do have a pair, but that's not good enough. Another 2 pair would be great. But we have the 9, the 5, and 6. I think we played a 5 and 6. 9s and 10s. We could do 10. We could do 8, 9, 10, jack. That's not enough. That's not enough. And I think discard pile is open information. So we played 6s and 5s. So an 8 is less likely to. We already have an 8. The 9s and 10s. So I think we're going to get rid of our 5 and 6 over here. And we'll keep the rest of our hand. So we're going to use one of our discards to do that. And draw up 2 cards. Only 2 cards. Just feels a little weak, honestly. But we already got a king. So we're guaranteed to play a 2 pair. But overkill and another king. I hate that for me. I hate that. That's such an overkill hand. Because a triple kings, 3 of a kind would be 3 damage. I guess we'll do triple kings. We'll hold on to the 8s for another hand. We're going to play triple kings right now. Although then I guess the 9-10. The 9-10. So we'll hold on to the 8s and the jack. So this is going to be our hand that we play. Triple kings, which is 3 of a kind for 3 damage. Plus 1, 2, 3 is 6 damage. That's overkill. Take him out. He's gone. And we have 3 kings buried in there. We now have our tailor, who has an ability. The clubs card in the hand you play this turn are considered to be part of whichever suit you choose. So we have that with diamonds now and with clubs, giving us a lot more flexibility for when we're in a tough spot. We will draw up to a hand size, which is going to be another 8 cards. We're making our way. There's 12 levels over here to go through, by the way. We've just done like, what, 4 levels, I think? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have our 8 card hand over here. Nothing particularly great. We do have a flush offhand. So we have a flush built in already because we have the 8, 7, 10, king, and 6. And let's see who we're facing off against. We are facing off against Dancer. Dancer is going to be 15 health. They do escalate. I believe the villain is all the way up to 50 health. So we have the Dancer right now. We're going to reset our hand to 2 right now. And then we're going to play a flush. We're going to start off with a flush. I see no reason not to. Granted, it means that 8 is closer to being a dead card because there's only 1 8 left in the deck right now. So we're going to play this hand, which is going to be a flush for 5 damage. Plus 1 for the king is 6 damage. We are 6 damage in, dropping him down to 9, which feels manageable. 9 feels manageable. But we have 2 more hands to do that. I should probably track my hands as I go, but I usually just remember. So we're down to 2 over here. Then we are going to draw replacement cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have an ace in play. We have double jacks, double queens. That probably is enough to take them out. But again, I don't love using those cards. But the game doesn't game makes it hard to hold on to cards anyway. If we play our 8 as our remaining dead card, this is going to be a 2 pair hand plus 4 damage. Wow, that's rough. That's going to be 1 damage shy. So we'll be fine because I think we're going to do it anyway. Because 2 pairs is going to be, again, 4 damage. Plus 4 is going to be 8 damage. So we're going to do an 8 damage hand and get rid of those. He drops down to 1, or Dancer, I guess she drops down to 1 if we're being specific. And then we're going to go ahead and draw a replacement hand where we only need to deal 1 damage. This could be a good chance to go ahead and try to cycle up to cards we want. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we have a 6. We have nothing. Nothing actually is helpful right now. None of these cards are helpful to us. So I think we're fine overall, but we just need to think about what we want to discard. The 8 is basically a dead card. The 9 will hold on to. The 2 will drop. The 4 and the 6 will drop. I think that's a good starting drop. We'll drop those. I could cycle through the discard pile to really search for everything, but I think I'm going by vibes and memories enough. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. We have double 5s. Double 5s is enough to do 1 damage, so we're going to do double 5s, 9 and 10, and we'll hold on to the aces and the queen. That's going to be a hand that does, again, 1 pair is a single point of damage. So there we go, and that's going to kill him. We've used both our hands. We have 1 discard. Now the question is, do we want to cycle our discard? I think there's good cards in here. I think there's queens and jacks in there. So I think we're going to not cycle our discard because we do have 1 more discard. And I didn't talk about this, but you can either discard and draw, which is what we've been doing till now, or renew. You can spend one of those points to renew, which is shuffle the discard pile back into the deck. The upside of doing it now is I have an extra discard and draw if I wanted to. The downside is I don't want the deck to actually be shuffled back yet. I think I like what's left in the deck. So we are going to go ahead and simply play that hand to deal 1 point of damage. That's going to kill the Dancer, which makes me feel terrible. But we have another ability. Discard 2 of the cards you're holding of your choice, then draw draw 3 cards from the poker deck. We're going to be facing off against the Sheriff. This is going to be another villain. You cannot use kings in your hand against this villain. Joke's on them. I've used most of my kings already. The kings are actually, I think I only have 1 king left in the deck at the moment. So this is actually not a bad time to have this card. We do have double aces, which is a great time to have double aces against the Sheriff. And again, this is a villain arc, so we're going to be ending this. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay. We need to reset our hands over here. I think we're going to start off strong with a discard, if I believe. Because I think we have 2 aces left. No, we have 1 ace left, right? We have 1 ace. How many queens do we have? We have, 2 queens are gone. 2 jacks are gone. Wow, I didn't realize that. Okay. We have, all our kings are gone. But no aces are gone. Oh my gosh, we could play like a 4 of a kind with aces. A 4 of a kind with aces would be 20 damage on its own. And I think we can do it. I think we can do it. If we discard this entire hand like so... No, if we discard all of this. Because if we don't have any aces left, then they're going to be in these cards, which means we can guarantee it, and we're going to shuffle the deck. Let me just do a double check, because 4 of a kind with aces. How do you get 5 of a kind? Okay, we're going to do that. 4 of a kind over here is going to be, what am I saying? 4 of a kind is 8 damage. 4 aces would be 12. That's 20 damage on its own. So looking again through this deck over here, I don't believe we have a single ace, so we're simply going to cycle into our aces. We are guaranteed to deal 20 damage right now. So we're going to discard these 6 cards with our first discard. Okay, rotate that down 1. That's going to give us 6 more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we're going to play our 4 aces plus anything, because again, it's going to reset anyway. So we have our 4 aces, which is going to be a 20 damage hand against the enemy. It's going to be 1 shot, and it's not going to matter again because we are going to shuffle this all up anyway. That's going to kill the Sheriff. We did not use any kings against him, which is great. Kings in the hand you play add +3 extra damage points instead of 1. So kings are as good as aces is our new ability. So we are powering up, we're doing great, and we are on to the next arc, which is going to be 3 cards and 3 discards. We are dealing 22 damage this time around. Okay, we have a little more flexibility for cycling to the cards we want, and that's going to be our setup over here. We're going to shuffle this up. We're doing well. We're doing well. Honestly, I haven't felt I had any hiccups. Usually at this point in the game, I've had to use a few of my instant abilities, and I have not done so, which means one of 2 things. Either I'm getting luckier, or I'm getting better. Honestly, it's probably a little bit of both. Let's go ahead and shuffle up this hand and see how far we can make it before we die. Again, 50, like 20 is so, like that hand I just played is so cool. A 4 aces, that's like the best possible hand. And yet it's only 20 damage. Like doing 50 damage is insane. Anyways, let's go ahead and draw ourselves a hand. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we have a straight there if my eyes do not see me. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 seems like a great way to get rid of a bunch of otherwise not great cards. I feel like I'm missing a card because I am missing a card. Also, why do I have this as part of my discard? There we go. So we're going to play a 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for a basic straight and 4 damage. It doesn't feel like enough at this point. I feel like I'm starting to get myself in trouble, but we need to cycle into our better cards, and this brings me down to 18 with 2 hands left. Okay, the bounty hunter is putting up a fight. We currently have Jack 3, 4. Let's see what we can add to this hand. 2, 3, and 4. Double jacks, double fours is not a bad way to go. It does force me into a very tough next hand because double jacks, double fours, kings in this hand add 3, aces add. Let's go ahead and get rid of the 9 over here. That's going to be 4 damage plus 2 is 6. That brings him down to 12, okay, which feels like good, but again, this is the problem. Like, this is where we might just die. We've done 2 hands already. We haven't done any discards, which is the nice part. So we do have some time to be able to cycle those back in. But we need to deal 12 damage with this next hand, whatever it's going to be. Maybe a full house. Aces, 10s, 7, king, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 2 over there. We're going to use our first discard to cycle because we need to cycle into things that are going to help us. We'll get rid of the 2. We'll get rid of the 8, the 7, and the 10. I am inclined to keep the double 3s. I'm inclined to keep the double 3s. Let's do some math. A full house with aces or kings would be 6 damage plus, even if there's only 2, would be 12. I think I'm going to keep the 3s. I want to make sure there's no 3s in here. But I think we can, if we get a single ace or king, as well as a 3, that's good enough. So we have a few discards to do that. We're going to use our first discard to get rid of those. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not bad. We're going to use our second discard to go ahead and get rid of the 8, 5, and the 2. Okay, we're going to hold on to these though. 8, 5, and 2 are going to be gone. We're going to draw 3 more cards. We got 6, queen, and 6. Okay, that's not helping me, guys. It's not helping me. I think the 6s have to go, much as I like them. But that means we're going to be using our last discard to hope to draw into it. Can I do a flush? A flush would be not as good as a full house because it's one shy. Let's see what happens with our last discard, and then maybe we'll have to make some audibles as far as the play we're trying to do. We're going to draw one more card, two more cards, one more, and then two. Okay, that's not good enough. That's not good enough. We could do double pair ace, king, king. That would be enough. That'd be 4 damage plus 12. Honestly, that'd be 12 on its own. So we at least have this. The question is, should I use any of these combos? I don't think I should. I think, even though I hate it, I think I should use ace, king, king, ace. I hate that. I hate that so much for me. But we're going to do that. We'll use the 10 as well. We'll throw that in the mix. That's going to be 2 pair, which is 4 damage, plus 12 from that alone. We took out the Bounty Hunter, but we do lose some solid cards. On the plus side, the Bounty Hunter is each face card in hand you play this turn adds plus 3 additional extra damage points. So the Bounty Hunter is here to help out. Let's go ahead and fight off against Cowboy from Hell. 25 damage. Let's set that up. We're doing fine. We haven't used any of our one-time use cards, but we are definitely feeling the pressure because right now some of our best cards are in the discard. We're going to go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to reset our stats over here. I think we need to cycle into some good cards. Let's go ahead and set 3 hands and 3 discards. We also possibly, the real question is, do I want to try to cycle the deck? I think there's only a double ace and king in here. Double ace, double king. And other than that, there's there's a jack. There's 2 jacks. Okay, so if that's the case, I think that this deck is about half as good anyway. Like, it's about par. So I don't think cycling into the deck yet is the right move. I think right now we should still cycle for the cards we have. That means we're going to discard these. Oh, interesting. A full house is not bad with a face card. So if we do these 3, let's go ahead and do that. I feel like that might be a risky decision to hold on to those 3s right now. But we're going to do it. 1. Oh, 4 3s. Amazing. Okay, 2 and 3. So we have the queens. We're going to use the 8, 3, 3. So we have 4 of a kind over here. 4 of a kind is 8 damage plus the 8, which is nothing. So 8 damage, dropping him to 17. 17. We are doing fine, guys. We're doing fine. We used up 1 hand and 1 discard, and he's down to 17 already. We are going to draw up, which is great because that's going to give us more good options. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we got triple queens. Triple queens is amazing. The problem is, what do I pair them with? The 4 and the 6 are not bad. I think it was at this point that I'm trying to think through, because triple queens is not bad. Plus 1 point of damage apiece. If I get rid of the... I meant to pull that from there. I could use a discard on those, but I don't think I want to. I think I'm going to discard 2 of the cards you're holding of your choice, and then draw 3 from the poker deck. So I'm going to discard these 2 and draw 3 so I don't have to use that yet. 1, 2, and 3. Guys, that is okay. I can work with that. So the dancer has been used off to the side. Now the real challenge is, at this point, I could play a full house like this. This full house is already a minimum of 11 damage. I don't think, the question I have, so to speak, is do I want to use my each face card in hand you play gives plus 3 additional? I don't think so. That would be 15 plus my already, again, 8, 13. That would be overkill beyond belief. I think I'm going to stick with the fact that a full house is 6 points of damage, plus 5 is 11, dropping him down to 6. I think I can take him out using just 1 more hand without having to do anything else. I think we're safe there. We do have to make a decision now as to whether we draw back up. I think there's still another king and another ace, so I think I'm just going to do a regular draw. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we got the king. We do have 1 more discard. I think I'm going to use 1 more discard, which, again, is going to be rough over here, but I think this is the right move. So we're going to get rid of 7, 10, 9, and 2, holding on to... Do we even want the queen? The queen might not be helpful. If I play triple queen, we're going to get rid of the queen. So I'm going to get rid of these 5 cards and draw back up. Are there even 5 cards? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's exactly 5 cards. There's the double ace that I was expecting, which means now we can play ace, ace, king over here. Ace, ace, king is going to be... Oh my gosh, I realize I might be in slight trouble because we're out of these. We've used all these, which means we're going to have to use a discard and draw and renew. That's rough. So give me a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to play these, which will take him out. That's going to be basically 12 damage alone, plus the 4 for the double pair is going to be 16. He's only at 6. He's dead. Cowboy from Hell is dead. One of the cards in the hand you play this turn counts as if it were duplicated. This creates a virtual card. Excellent. Okay, that's going to be how we're going to get that 5 of a kind over here. But these are going to go away. This stays in my hand. And now what I believe, I need to double do some rules checking here. Because at this point, if there's not enough cards, we just don't draw. Let me just double check, make sure that's correct. For last enemy, draw up to 8 cards. Okay, draw. Full house. Nope. Where we go. Duel. there's a step in the turn, adjust the thing. Give me a second to just figure this out, because I believe I don't draw anything. The problem is I believe I have to do a renew and then a draw. That's the tricky part. Renew the deck, discard and draw. If there's not enough cards, you only draw the cards that are left. So I'm going to have to spend 2. Okay, this is where things are going to get rough. Okay, because what happens now is at the end of my turn, I can't draw anything, so there's nothing to draw. We're going to place this in play. We're going to have you cannot play Spades cards in your hand against this villain. Okay, it's going to be 30 health, and the problem is we still are working with 3 and 3. This is where we might lose because I put myself in a corner. Because what's going to happen now is I use all my hands. We're going to reset this down, and then I'm going to basically set this to 1, because the first thing we're going to do is we're going to immediately shuffle up this deck. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle up this deck immediately. That's using my first of those actions, because it basically creates a new deck, which you do after the villain turn, but I went a little too aggressive, so I have to use my first one of these on just this. I think this might be it, guys. I think going into a 30 health villain, while not being able to play Spades, while having to use my first 2 discard and draws, is rough. Because then the second thing I've done is after I've created this deck, I'm then going to immediately discard my 5, 9, 7. Because I'm going to discard them because they don't seem like great cards, and then I'm going to draw 8 cards. That's going to be 2 of my discards and draws down, which means I'm going to have to use some tips and tricks from these guys, or just get really lucky. Getting really lucky would be great too, honestly. So we're going to go ahead and discard these 3, and then you do one more shuffle over here just to make sure. We'll do a little shuffle, and then an overhand, and then we are going to draw 8 cards. 1, that's a good start. 2, a better start. 3, oh my gosh. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so this did go well. I'll say that. Now, the only problem I have is that I can use another discard draw, because I could even go for a royal flush. Do they even have a royal flush? I don't think they have a royal flush. They have a straight flush. Oh, a straight flush, I guess a straight flush is a royal flush. Why do they not have royal flush? That's a critique I have in the game. So right now, because if I get a single 10, that would be a straight flush, which would be 10, but I need to do 30 across 3 hands. I think using the diamond to make a flush is not a bad way to start, but I don't love it because it leaves my royalty isolated. But I think it's still a good way to go. So we are going to use my card over here, which is going to allow my diamonds to be counted as hearts. That means I can go ahead and use that. That means this is a valid hand, and that's going to bring me to King, Ace, Jack, Queen. That's going to be a flush, which is 5 plus 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we drop him down to 17 on my first hand. It's a strong hit. It's a very strong hit. But the problem is, it's a very strong hit, and I have 2 hands left and 1 discard to finish him off, and I fractured my royalty. I fractured those out, which I really don't love. So we might survive this, but I think we're going to have to use up more of these than I want to make that work. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So now we could do the same thing and make a regular flush with these guys over here, because we could use the clubs cards can be a part of whichever suit I want. So I could make another flush just for the sake of discarding. Alternatively, we have double 2s. We don't have any other sets. Do I go for another flush and use clubs? Another flush would be 5 damage plus 1 is 6. I think we'll do it. So we're going to use my club to be able to be part of any suit I want. We're going to keep those double 2s in case they are relevant later. We're going to use this card. The clubs in your hand this play this turn are considered to be part of whatever suit you want. And that's going to give us another flush plus a point of damage, which means another 6 points of damage, bringing him down to 11. I have 1 hand left to take him out, and I have 1 discard left to do this. So we're going to draw our 5 cards. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's horrible, by the way. Because I currently have 8. My 2s alone are 8 points of damage. I have 4 of a kind, and I can't do jack with this. I guess. I hate this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to shuffle this back into the deck, because there's a bunch of royalty in there. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to set myself up for the future, but I'm going to burn through half of my one-time use cards. So this over here is going to be cycled. Also, I just realized, by the way, I can't do spades. I cannot do spades, so I totally cheated. I'm going to call this out. It is what it is, unfortunately. I don't think there's an easy way to backtrack it. My first hand was all diamonds, which was great. My second hand was all spades. So I did totally cheat on this hand. Whatever one I get is an asterisk. I just totally forgot about that. Sorry. I could solve that by trying to draw like one of the other cards that's like, you know, clubs or who knows what, but I don't want to try to retcon this too much. I cheated. It's fine. So I'm going to do right now is I'm going to go ahead and shuffle up this deck because I'm renewing the deck. That will give me a nice strong deck of all my royalty back. But then I'm going to use, you may change, nope. If one of the cards in your hand you play this turn counts as if it were duplicated, this creates a virtual card. That's going to give me 5 of a kind on 2s. Okay, so let's go ahead and keep the, we'll get rid of the 5 because we have 6, 7, 8. So we're going to get rid of this over here. We duplicate the 2, and that's going to be 5 of a kind, which is 12 points of damage. This goes in the discard pile, and this guy's dead because he only has 11 points of damage left. And we now have each Spades card, including this hand you play, adds +2 extra damage points. So we now have another ability that we can add to our tableau. Let's go ahead and cycle this under here so we can see our abilities. And then put this over here so we can see them all. Great. So we now have kings are +2 damage. Kings are +3 instead of +1. Pairs are a 2 pairs is 4 damage, and each spade is an additional point of 2 damage. Great. That's good overall. This was used now. We burned through like 3 cards to make that work, and we go into the next enemy. Although I think that was a villain card, was it not? So we're going to shuffle it up anyway. I don't know why I did that. I'm going to shuffle it up anyway. We are now facing off against Duel over here, who's going to be 35 points of damage. And now we have 4 hands and 3 discards. So we have 3 discards and 4 hands. Okay, oh no, 4. We went straight to 4 and 4, my bad. Straight to 4, 4. Okay. What was it with 4? It was 3, 3. So we go straight to 4, 4. We're going on to 10. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ahead and shuffle everything up because those cards that weren't, everything gets shuffled up again. I forgot about that part after each villain. We are walking into this with 2 abilities still. We can change the suit of any cards you play that have a value of 7. Okay, so 7s can become anything. And then each face card in the hand you play this turn adds +3 additional extra damage points. That bounty hunter is absolutely key. It can turn, like especially if I do a triple king, double ace, full house. Oh, technically a king is not ace is not technically a face card. I should remember that. If I do a king, queen, full house, that could be a full house alone is going to be 6 points of damage. The kings will add 9. That's going to be 9 plus 6 is 15. The queens add 2. That's 17. But then 15, that could be 32 points of damage from a single hand. And if 2 of them are spades, that brings us up another 4. That could be 36 points of damage from a single hand with that bounty hunter. Granted, a lot of work to get there, but when you're dealing with a final villain that's going to be 50, you need all of that working for you. So, we are walking into our next hand over here. We're going to deal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, we got double queens, triple queens. Triple queens, we got a full house. Okay, full house over here. So, I don't think there's any reason to play around with that. Let's use the full house offhand. Double 2s. Double 2s, queens over here. That's going to be additional damage from the fact that we have 2 spades in there. So we have, right now, queen, 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 2, 2. That will basically be a full house of 6 cards. So, what am I doing? Full house is 6 damage, plus the queens is another 3. That brings us to 9, plus 4 for the spades. It's going to be us to 13. Our first hand deals 13 damage to him. So we're going to drop him down to 23. Again, which feels good, especially because we have a full extra hand to play with right now. So our ability to cycle into the right cards is even better. We haven't used any of our discards. Things are looking good. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Triple 7s, double aces. I think we should use a discard to get rid of the 4, 10, and 9. 4, 10, and 9 with a discard is going to bring us 3 more cards. If either one of them are an ace, 7, or king, there we go. 2 and 3. Okay, so now we're going to do kings. We're going to keep our ace, kings, 7s, and there we go. Okay, that's going to be a full house again. So it's going to be another 6 points of damage, plus another 6 for the kings is 12, plus another 4 for the spades is 16. So that's 16 points of damage on hand number 2, dropping him to 6 health left. 6 health left. Considering we have 2 hands, that puts us in a very good spot. But so good that I think I want to cycle my stuff back in. But we'll see. Let's go ahead and just draw our cards and see how this goes. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we got double jacks. We don't have anything else. I think we'll use another discard over here to go ahead and get rid of my 8, 4, 6, 9. 8, 4, 6, 9. Because I think we are going to cycle this back in if we can. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. That brings us to triple jacks, which is not bad. Triple jacks alone is 3 of a kind, which is 3, plus the fact that jacks alone are going to be 3. So we are going to hold on to our ace, hold on to our queen, play our triple jacks, and then I guess we'll play this. No, we'll hold on to this. Yeah, I guess so, because the heart, so more chance of a flush. And we'll play this. That's going to be 3 of a kind for 3 points. The spade is also even doing more. In fact, actually, with that logic, I should hold on to the spade. Okay, so the spade is going to do another 2 damage. And there you go. And keep in mind, you can't score cards that aren't part of the scoring hand. So extra cards by an extra spade. If this was a spade, it wouldn't add 2 points of damage. But this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He only has 6. He's dead. Before I play this hand, I'm going to use one of my these over here to basically cycle this back into here, which is a little annoying because it means we have 3 jacks out of play, but I think it's still worth it to get the sheer amount of goodness back here while taking him out and leaving us well primed for the future. Technically, I have 1 more discard, but I want to get rid of the 8. I think I've already shuffled the hand. It is what it is. I should have used 1 more discard to cycle that 8 something better, but it's an 8, which is a spade, so spades are not bad either way. Okay, we killed another one. We again are doing very well overall. This guy's gone. We have one-time ability of cards with a value of 5 in the hand you play this turn are considered aces. Even better. Okay, that's gone. These guys are gone. We are going to draw back up to 8 cards. We're going to see who we're facing off against. We're facing off against the Clint over here. Test a nod to Clint Eastwood, I assume. We're going to go to 40. And then we're going to reset to 4 and 4. And then we're going to play and see how we do. Well, we're going to actually get our hands first. We got 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we got our 7s are back. 5s are considered to be aces if we play this, but we have to play that. That's the tricky part. We have double queens already. Double queens, double 7s is not a bad starting hand. I don't love the idea of throwing out a 5 for nothing because well, I guess we'll keep the 5. We'll get rid of the 8 over here. But that's wasting an ace, wasting a spades for nothing. So we're going to do 4 damage. Let's put this back over here. So 4 damage from the 2 pair. Then it's going to be an additional 1, 2 from here. That's going to be 6 damage. 6 damage does not feel like a lot anymore. It used to feel like a lot. It doesn't feel like a lot right now. But we're still going to play it. We're still going to play 6 damage. I feel, honestly, a little impotent after doing that because we have only 3 hands left to take him down from 40. But I think things are good. Things are good. Let's go ahead and draw more cards. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now that jack is nearly dead as far as I'm concerned. We do have mostly a flush, but that's not actually a flush. It's just mostly a flush. Do we have a 10? We have 10 jack queen. Honestly, 10 jack queen, king ace. There we go. 10 jack queen, king ace is not a bad hand to play at all. That's going to be a straight. Not a straight flush, but a straight. A straight's going to be 4 damage, but 4 is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 points of damage for a hand isn't bad. Again, I don't like straights how they fracture up my ability to get sets, but it's still worth it because it brings me down to 22 with 2 hands left to take him out. And I think that puts me in a good position overall. We're going to draw up and see how we fare because we do need some spades and kings and aces and all those fun things. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not my favorite hand. We have double 6, double 5s. I could count my 5s as aces, which would give me a nice boost. I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to use this a little early, but we only have 2 more, and I need to survive. So if I use my 5s as aces, then I could play double 6s, double 5s. We'll keep the 8, 9, 10 because it could lead into a straight as well. And that's going to be the following. So we're going to have a 2 pair, which is 4 points. Our aces are going to bump us up to 4. Well, let's do our spades first. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, because those 5s are aces. So 14 points of damage without using one of our discards yet at all, which is actually kind of impressive because that brings him down to 6 over here. From 12, 14, no, 8. 8 points of that. He's down to 8. And we have 1 hand left to deal 8, but we have plenty over there. Plenty of abilities to set ourselves up for an easy hand. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is the part where I find things a little deflating because, again, I have double 2 pairs over here. 2 pairs are nothing right now. It's not nearly enough. Now, 9s and 10s and aces are not the worst because if I can get a good set of a straight, even an 8, 9, 10 is not crazy because if I get a jack, I don't think there are a lot of jacks left in the deck at this point. I think there's, in fact, no jacks left. So I'd need a 6, 7. Can I get a 6, 7? Nope, there's 2 6s gone. Jacks are gone, 2 7s gone. So I don't think going for that. So I'm not going to try to keep the 8. I think I'm going to use my first discard to cycle those 5. That brings us down to 1 over here. And then we're going to draw 5 more cards. A flush with spades is enough to take this guy out. 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so we're 1 step closer to that flush. We can drop all of these again. So it's going to be 4 more cards. 8, 9, 10. You're going to drop those 4 cards. I guess double pair. Let me just do some math here. Double pair, 9, 10, 9, 10 would be enough, actually. That's actually enough. So let's hold on to these. Let's see what we can do here. Because I think there's not a lot of aces in play. So I might be able to cycle towards a good set there. So 9, 10, 9, 10 plus anything junky, let's say. No, I'm not going to keep the stuff, okay? So then we're going to use our next discard to cycle those 2. Because I realize I'm guaranteed the hit now. Now I'm just trying to cycle into better cards for the next hand. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we're going to use another discard to get rid of those 3. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to play my 7, 10, 10, 9 over here. That's going to be 4 points for 2 pair. Plus 2 is a total of 8. That uses my last hand. I'm not using my last discard because I want these double ace kings in my hand. And that takes out Clint. Put the joker in the discard pile. Oh no, I have to grab the joker. When I use it. Why wouldn't I use it now? I guess I'll use it now. We're going to use Clint over here to grab the joker from the bag over here and put our joker into the discard pile. So we have that in play. Back to setting up there, and we get one more villain before our final boss. We have Lord Overkill. That's going to be... Oh, this is the final boss. My bad. This is him. This is it. Wait, we're up to the... Oh my gosh, we're on the final boss. We are playing on easy mode, but again, I haven't made this far yet either. I think the furthest I've gone until now is 1 round before. So we're going to set him to 50. And... Well, what am I doing here? I'm cycling around the wrong way. 50. Okay, we are facing off against Lord Overkill. We have 4 hands to take him out. So let's go ahead and set this. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and see what we draw in our next hand. This is it. This is everything. We have our bounty hunter in play. We have our scorpion, which is not particularly amazing, but it's fine. Let's see what we got. 1, that's a good start. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's a great start. Now, the only problem is I don't want to use my bounty hunter on a triple ace hand, but I think we are going to do a full house because I think that trying to go for more than that would be a little bit greedy because I think I might just do a reset right away. So a full house with all of this is going to be 6 to begin with, plus there's a spade. That brings us to 8, and then plus 15 is 23. So we have 23 points of damage offhand, and then we're going to cycle everything back in. So that brings him down. After our first hand, he drops from 50 to 27. 27 already, and we can... I think we got this, guys. I think we got this. I think I am getting better. Then we're going to use our first thing over here. Well, I guess technically we draw 5 cards first. So we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we are going to cycle this back in using our one of those dials over there to renew everything because I think that having all our aces and kings in the discard pile feels like a mistake. And then we're going to start cycling to get great hands. That's what we're going to do. Because if I can do an all royalty hand, we already have a king, a queen, and king over there. That's going to be a bunch of spades. If I can get even more spades, if I can get a jack of spades, an ace of spades, and a 10 of spades, throw that together with a bounty hunter, and I think that'll take them out. 27. I think we got this. Lord Overkill is dead. Anyways, let's go ahead and see how we can do. And we are going to draw, well, not draw anything. We're going to use our second one to do a discard. So keep in mind, we only have 2 more cycles, so to speak, because we used our first 2 on just doing the renew. So that's going to be that. And we have 2 more cycles after this. We got a queen and king. And we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We actually got the jack. Okay. So if we keep the jack, now I could use the 7 for, the 7s, I shouldn't get rid of the 7. Because the thing about the 7 is I could do a flush with this hand, and that would be a valid hand. So we're going to get rid of these 3 cards, which feels like not enough cards, but we're going to do that. Okay. And then we're going to draw 3 more cards. So we got 1. I feel a little rough here. 2, 3. Okay. We now have a 10 jack queen king. This is not necessarily better, because now, if we get rid of these 2, then a 9 helps us, an ace helps us, and so does a spade. So a 9, ace, and a spade is a really not bad. We're missing 1 9 and 1 8, but I think that's overall pretty good. The problem is, if we don't get it, I guess we could burn hands. We can do that too. If we need to. So right now, let's put this back over here. Let's do our last discard, which is rough. Very, very rough. Because we need a 9, a spades, or an ace. We got an ace. We're good to go. And we got a 10. That doesn't help us at all. So now what we can do is we can do an 8, 10. We're going to do a royal flush, basically. Okay? Queen, king, jack. So here's what we're going to do. 10, Jack, Queen, King, Ace is going to be our hand that we play. That's going to be a straight. Straights are going to be 4 points of damage. That's all it is. It feels rough, but 4 points of damage. Then we're going to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, because they're spades. So that's 10 points of damage. We're going to use our bounty hunter. That's going to be 10 plus another 9, brings us to 19 points of damage. But then our basic royalty, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. I think it's exactly 27. I'm going to do it again just to make sure. So our straight is 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 for the spades. That's 10, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 plus 9 for the additional face cards is 27. That's going to be enough to take him down. It is satisfying to win. I am glad. I'm not saying I'm glad the first time I was on camera, but I'm glad I got a win in before I reviewed this. So, my review of Ace of Spades. If you are jumping here from the very beginning, oh my gosh, I think you missed out on a fun gameplay and a good showcase of what this game is doing and how it operates. As far as my review, I need to take the Joker out. I didn't even get the Joker. That's kind of lame, honestly. Where's my Joker? Where's my Joker? Okay. So, as far as my review of Ace of Spades. So having played this a bunch of times, I really enjoy the actual puzzle of the game. I think it's a very solid solo game that provides a compelling puzzle. You do get better as you play. You learn how to maximize your refreshes, your renews, your discards. You learn how to go for the right sets of cards and to lean into the tableau of player powers that you've built up. So overall, as far as the game works, the game gives you a compelling solo experience in which you build up and get more powerful, and which learning does make you stronger and better at the game. So it's a good time. It's a good time. There's variability as well. Each of the villains you're facing off against, there's 4 villains for each level. The final one is at difficulty scaling, the final boss. The others are just random. So, you want different combinations of powers or upgrades or one-time use abilities. All that just gives you variety to the experience. So these are all the good things. A good, fun solo puzzle. The bad is that outside of playing on harder difficulty modes, which I assume I'm going to ramp up to from normal to hard. I didn't even try easy. Going from normal to, well, I guess that depends. There's different kinds of difficulties. There's the final boss difficulty, which has 4 levels, and then there's additional difficulty modifiers. So I've played the final boss on easy. I assume I will play through all the bosses. That's what I assume I'll do. I don't know if I'll ramp up the difficulty more than the regular, because there's normal, hard, and nightmare. From looking at the rules, I'll probably try hard, and I probably won't bother with nightmare, because at a certain point in this game, you get to just relying on luck. At a certain point, it's not about skill. You've learned the skill that you need in order to power past it, and now it's about trying to run and reset each time so you can just get the right combinations that you don't run into like a rough hand of cards where you just lose because you couldn't draw what you needed. So the variability aspect of this game experience, I think, is lacking. When I think of games like Slay the Spire, the board game, or Rolling Deep, or things that are trying to give you that roguelite experience, Ace of Spades does a great job of giving you a Balatro poker solo experience, like a very fun time, but I think it does so with limited longevity to how long that experience will be entertaining for. So that's kind of the what I like, the what I don't like. Overall, my final thoughts and review is I'm going to be coming in at a 4 out of 5. I'll say that that was my number before playing this one. Like, I knew what I was going to say beforehand. Nothing changed. It happens to be I got my first win while playing on camera. But the overall puzzle, I got them close enough to the win enough times that I knew it was just a matter of getting the right sequence or possibly getting slightly better at min-maxing everything in the game. I think it's a 4 out of 5. It's a fun time. My biggest concern with it is that, practically speaking, I played this I think this is like my 6th play or something like that, and I think I'm probably going to play it for like another 5 or 6 times, and then probably move on from it. When I have games like Slay the Spire or Unstoppable or Rolling Deep, I think those are just more likely to hit the table, which I guess brings me to my recommendations. My recommendations would be Unstoppable, Slay the Spire, and Rolling Deep if you're looking for similar experiences that do it differently and probably with more variability to the experience. Also, Allplay is a channel sponsor. I mentioned Rolling Deep. Rolling Deep is actually one of the partner publishers, Bitewing Games. If you go to allplay.com, you can find games from Allplay, as well as their partner publishers, Bitewing Games, Druid City Games, and others. And if you're in the US, you can get $4 flat rate shipping on any number of different games from those publishers. In any case, until next time, I'm Alex Jackson from Board Game Co. I hope you enjoyed this solo playthrough. As always, I hope you have a good one.